you're doing it, I invite you to let your feet fall where they will. Let your hands fall where your feet don't. And you're kind of good. So like this little bass drum in your snare drum. And I would invite you to kind of fill up your chest with a little bit of extra air. Kind of send your sternum towards the ceiling. Just let yourself kind of expand. 1, 2, 3. I woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Again, now we have to take it up a notch. I'm walking on with my mind set on spirit. I'm walking on with my mind set on spirit. Walking with my mind set on
Welcome everyone to another Elevate Wednesday here at the Victoria Truth Center. I will be so happy when I can wear the headset, the wireless headset again. Welcome to everyone who is here. I would like to ask, is there anyone here for the first time today? Megan, welcome. May I ask just very quickly, what brought you in today?
Liz.
All right, Liz. Thank you, Liz. All right. Well, can we let Megan know how happy we are that she is here? We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. Let's give Megan a hand. Thank you. So, whether you are here for the first time or you are here for the manyth time, whether you're in person or online, we come together to do one thing and one thing only. And that is to remember that there's only one thing going on. Call it what you will. Call it energy, call it love, call it creativity, call it God, call it universe, the infinite potentiality of the quantum field, whatever it is that works for you, that's all there is. And so because there's only one thing going on, then it stands to reason that each and every one of us, everything that is, was, and ever will be, is that thing. So if we talk about love, and we talk about love a lot here at UTC, then only love is happening. That's it. Everyone and everything is love. And not just a little bit, not just sometimes, but all of it, all the time. So no special occasions, no forgetting. We are that infinite creativity, resilience, and love that is the essence, the foundation, the very beingness of everyone and everything, every moment of every day. So we come together to remember that. We come together to celebrate that. We come together to remind ourselves, to remind each other. So this is why we're here. So, elevators, how does that sound to you? Wow. Wow. That's some kind of enthusiasm. How does that sound to you? Okay, so now that we know why we're here, let's remember where we are. That we are on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And we are so grateful to be able to gather here, to be able to live and breathe and work and play. And during this month of commitment, that's our new theme for the month, I found that there was this incredible quote on the Songhees Nation's website. We have been here since time immemorial, and we will continue to thrive. Now, if that is not a declaration, an affirmation of commitment, I don't know what is. And so I invite us all to embrace that knowing, to realize where it is that we are, to feel it in our hearts, and to know and to be grateful that there is now an invitation that has been extended for us to be able to co-create, to do things together on these beautiful stewarded lands. All right, gents, time for some meditative music. So just a reminder, we're going to move into an opening prayer right after this, so if you'd like to show your appreciation to the band, it's time to do this. those lingering vibrations, the resonance of melodies and chords and harmonies, and all of the interspaces in between. Knowing that everything that is being felt, everything that is being activated within each and every one of us is that divine intertwinement that is always in and at play. The love, the beauty, the harmony, the artistry of life. Every moment of every day, breathing its way in, through, and as each and every one of us. And so as we allow ourselves the blessing and the gift, as we open up to the realization that our time together today is this incredible opportunity to express more fully, to connect more deeply, I'm so grateful to know that all of that is already happening, beautifully, brilliantly, committedly, in the quantum field of infinite potentiality. So as we move into the rest of our time together today, I know we do so in community, in friendship, in love, in curiosity, and everything else that is already making its way to the surface. So for all that is here, for everything that is yet to come, I simply say thank you. And so it is. So just taking a moment to breathe as we transition from that. And if you'd like to express your appreciation for the band more noisily, thank you guys. All right, so mentioned already that this month's theme is commitment on the heels of faith. So faith, that's one thing, to sort of trust and to know. But you can trust and know until the cows come home without actually stepping into action or doing something with and as that faith. It's just kind of, there. So commitment is what I wanted to lead into this month for us. And the affirmation that we have is, I commit to creating life intentionally and living life purposefully every moment of every day. So this comes to sort of point number 3 about new thought, which is personal responsibility. So there's this one thing that is going on, call it whatever it is that works for you. Each and every one of us is that in its entirety, all the time, no exceptions. But we don't always get to feel like that wholeness. Why? Because we're the ones who are deciding. We're the ones who are choosing every moment of every day, whether we're aware of it or not, how much of that love, how much of that infinite creativity, how much of that infinite potentiality we're willing to express as. Okay? So that's what this month is about, is committing to or realizing what is it that you have been committing to, and is it enough? Is it enough to keep moving forward with that? Or maybe is it time to change? So I commit to creating life intentionally and living life purposefully every moment of every day. So now is the time in our time together where we get to share, 2 or 3 shares of what commitment means to you, what it looks and feels like in this moment, or what it is that is coming up for you as you see that affirmation, as you hear that word, as you feel those words land on your body. So who would like to share first? Okay, has the mic. Ready.
Well, I'd be happy to share something.
Howdy, in the front row. Stay quiet long enough to get up to something.
Well, to be honest with you, commitment I find terrifying and also hugely beautiful. And I have been reflecting in the last week that I have a lot of experience. In fact, I've got pretty good at recognizing my commitment after the risky period of commitment has passed.
Oh, okay.
So recognizing how a joy the last little while thinking about faith. Faith was good, but commitment is scary. And so I recognized that there was an example that came up with a job that I had applied for. And it was only after I didn't get the job that I was really willing to be like, oh, I would have done that. That would have been great. And so I realized that in the job interview, I was kind of like, I'm going to hold back a little. I'm really committed. But after it had passed, I was then willing to commit because I didn't have to risk anything. And so that was a really funny revelation or realization. And I don't know where to go with it. But I recognize.
That's going to be my question.
Yeah, I have no idea. It would probably involve more of that, more of the committing to live intentionally. I can do it in the safe areas, but in the risky areas, I recognize that I have it's like I'm in a spaceship that has like a danger. We're removing your ability to steer the aircraft, and we're putting this on autopilot to guide you through this potentially risky period of commitment. And it steers me away from any potential commitments. Well, that's what I found.
Well, so noticing is one thing, which is great because you notice, you're cognizant of that. Now, I wonder if you went back to faith and you could lean into faith to bolster your commitment to taking whatever risk it is that you need to take. Because when you have faith, when you're in faith, when you're showing up as faith, you're trusting and knowing that whatever needs to happen, whatever needs to show up, even if you have no idea in the moment, is going to. And so if you maybe get to the faith, then the next thing will show up that is required in order for you to, land that job interview or whatever else it is that you're going to do.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And maybe I'm not actually correct. Maybe that, maybe it's not exactly that I jump away from commitment because I recognize that the things that I do have faith for, like, playing with these guys or conversations, I'm fully committed because I have faith in the process. So I'm not sure what that is, but I'll reflect on it. I look forward to spending a month with this theme.
All right, fantastic. Look forward to hearing from you a few weeks down the road and seeing what's changed.
Oh.
Thank you, Kelly. Who else would like to share something? Are you able to?
I'm not quite certain 100% what I'd say, but
All right, Keely, what's bubbling up for you?
every moment really stood out for me because it feels like every moment you can be aware that there's like all this endless or limitless possibilities, but committing is more, at least for me right now, it feels like not just like looking at a web and being like, oh, I could be all these different things, or oh, I could do all these different things, being like, no, it's like this woman climbing up this cliff. She's not thinking, oh, I should put my hand here and here and here. She's saying, my hand there, my hand there, my hand there, and she's going up. So that's what I think. That's what I feel right now.
Okay, thank you. So I'm hearing more awareness and intentionality in choices. Okay, all right. Time for one more. If anyone would like to share, Mariana.
I think sort of following up with what Julie said.
Keely.
Can you hear me?
Keely.
Oh, so,
Keely.
okay, sorry. That's okay. It reminds me of once I was in it's kind of a new age store in Vancouver, Abandoned Books. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. And I overheard this conversation, an older gentleman talking to a younger man, and he said he thought the most important thing in life was discipline. And I've always remembered that. And so when I think of commitment, I think of, that takes discipline. Because when you commit to something, it means you need discipline to actually do it. So, yeah.
It'd be interesting to talk about the distinction between commitment and discipline. When I hear the word discipline, I hear something really hard and really like just task driving and
Right.
whips and, you know, like going on kind of thing.
So
Whereas-
compromising.
Yeah, and whereas commitment, for me, is more spacious and more options. And I think even in the book, The One Thing by, I want to say his name is Gary Keller, he talks about how we don't need more discipline. We really don't need more discipline. What we need is commitment. To be committed to the one thing that requires our attention and to focus on that instead of, I have to do this, I have to do it this way, I have to do it by a certain time. So it's interesting that you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's a flip.
Mhm.
It's a flip. So
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we're going to continue leading into commitment for the rest of the month. And so now I would like to ask Alaha Nuhra to come back to the stage and
The songs are gonna play.
all right.
Peter and I are still talking over here. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah,
Well,
commitment is.
you'll have a chance after the talk, right? Okay, are you going to tell us what it is that you're...
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
So, this Peter was just saying, there's things that we commit to that you never think about commitments because they are unquestioning. They are just, of course. It's an of course. And so this song is a love song. It's a torch song. It's a torch song. It's a Sinatra tune that, to me, resonated at the time in my life. Well, I won't go too personal, but it definitely had to do with commitment. And I think the lyric of the song is quite amazing. I think it's one of the most romantic love songs because it does talk about, I think what that quote was talking about being present and being committed to something incredible and opening up yourself to something incredible. I hope you enjoy it. It's called All the Way. What more commitment could there be than all the way? Maybe last date or something? Sure. That's the big topic that we got. Oh no. No, you and I. You and I just. Through the good or
Pablo Cardenas, Peter Das, and Calvin McNair. Wow, what a treat. Every Wednesday. And like, speaking of, we started Elevate in November. So I kind of, forgot that we had our 6-month anniversary. Which means we've had our 4-month anniversary with these guys. Right? And then there are several people in this audience today who have been coming to virtually every single one. So commitment on everyone's parts, right? Like, we're building community here, guys, and that is definitely something that requires commitment. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, everyone who tunes in. All right, so I mentioned last week that I am in a brand new class with Neil Douglas-Klotz, who is the author of this book here, among others. Revelations of the Aramaic Jesus, the hidden teachings on life and death. And the reason that this is such a cool book, at least for me, is because he is going to the teachings of Jesus from the Aramaic and translating directly from the Aramaic. So not from Hebrew, not from Latin, not from any other language, but the language that Jesus would have spoken. But he's also incredibly clear that there is no one word or one syllable that can be sort of like the definitive translations for anything that he would have said, because there are different types of Aramaic that are spoken and that were written. Now, the other cool thing about it is that it's all about the breath with Neil Douglas-Klotz. And so last week, I mentioned that one of the cool things I learned in the class, or not really learned, but the way that he talked about it was that, when I talk about there's only one thing going on, call it love, call it God, call it spirit, and so on and so forth, he talks about one universal eternal breath. And how there's only one breath going on. One breath breathing itself in, through, and as each and every one of us, everyone and everything. And that when this breath pauses and holds, that's when we show up. That's our lifetime, in that paused breath. And when that breath expires, so do we, and then that breath, that little self that we are, goes back into that one big, universal, eternal breath that is just forever breathing and fulfilling and enjoying itself in, through, and as everyone and everything. And so today, what he talked about was 4 elements. 4 elements that are interconnected and represented and are fulfilled by that breath, and how these 4 elements are not just this breath, that these elements are actual living beings themselves. And through our breath, the intentional use of our breath, we can invite these beings to be more connected, to be more, what's the word I'm looking for, to fulfill themselves more through us in our life so that we can experience them more. And those 4 elements are earth, water, fire, and air. And so I want to do a little bit of an experiential today, because part of what Neil Douglas-Klotz's class is about is chanting and singing and experiencing these Aramaic words and syllables and sounds. And even if we didn't know what they were, it's really what they represent. And the wholeness that we are a part of and that is a part of us, and to be able to connect to it more deeply by using our breath intentionally and purposefully. So I'm going to ask you, I know everybody's comfortable, but I'm going to ask you to sit up straight with your feet on the ground and lengthen your spine. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, whatever it is that feels comfortable. And I'm not going to chant the words today because it's going to take too long, but I'm going to say them. And so the first word, the first term is Alaha Ar-ah. Alaha Ar-ah. And I just want you to feel that inside your heart, inside your body. On the in-breath, think Alaha. And on the out-breath, Ar-ah. And so just quietly inside your heart, you don't need to say the words out loud, but breathing in, Alaha, breathing out, Ar-ah. Breathing in, Alaha, breathing out, Ar-ah. And I just invite you to continue saying these words to yourself as you breathe in and breathe out. And now I'm going to invite you to be more intentional with your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, but very silently through your mouth. Mouth open just a little bit. Breathing in, Alaha. Breathing out, Ar-ah. And this is earth. So as you're breathing in and breathing out, you are becoming more connected to the earth element. The earth element, which is about support and structure, and in terms of the body, is about breathing into the bones and the ligaments. Alaha Ar-ah. Alaha Ar-ah. And so continue breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now the next term is Alaha Maya. Alaha Maya. And so breathing in, Alaha. Breathing out, Maya. And this is water. And so this is a much more fluid experience. And I invite you to envision it flowing upwards through your body and then showering down upon you. And as you breathe in, Alaha, breathe out, Maya. This is nourishing and moistening your muscles and your connective tissue. Alaha Maya. Alaha Maya. Breathing in, breathing out. And so now we move into a different breath. Breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose, we're moving into fire. And this is Alaha Nuhra. Alaha Nuhra. Breathing in, Alaha. Breathing out, Nuhra. Alaha Nuhra. Alaha Nuhra. And so in through the mouth and out through the nose. And this is about bringing light and warmth into your being. This is about warming up and igniting your solar plexus and feeling this in your torso. This is about being more connected to the pulses of life, the heart, the brain, the cerebrospinal fluid that flows in between. And it's about illuminating the path of life before us. Alaha Nuhra. Alaha Nuhra. And now I invite you to start breathing through your mouth and nose at the same time as we move into the element of air. And the words there are Alaha Ruha. Alaha Ruha. And so as you're repeating these words to yourself, inside your mind, inside your heart, I invite you to be very intentional with your breath as you breathe in through your mouth and nose at the same time, allowing yourself to connect more with the breath and wind and spirit, not only within, but whirling and swirling all around, allowing this breath to awaken your skin, breathing through your pores, setting healthy boundaries, and allowing your nervous system, which is made of the same embryonic fluid as the skin, to be healthy and vital and strong. Alaha Ruha. Alaha Ruha. Ruha. So I invite you to just take a few more breaths in. And then I invite you to just sort of gently start wiggling your body around, rub your hands together or on your laps. And then when ready, open your eyes gently, becoming more present in the room. Yawn if you need to. Stretch out. And so how does everyone feel? More connected? Calm? More present in your skin? This is part of why intentional breath is so important. Because if we go from this idea that there is only one breath, and that we are all part and parcel of this breath, and we are these living beings that are held in this pause breath of this one universal eternal breath, then if we use our breath, if we breathe more intentionally, then we are more connected with that one universal breath. We are more connected with the wholeness and the allness of life, of the world, of everything. And so what Neil Douglas-Klotz invites us to do is to do this practice, to practice this breath work several times a day. And once you get used to it, he says it takes about 5 minutes. And like I said, there are chants that are involved. But just thinking those terms and knowing, I didn't actually tell you, Alaha is the word, some would say that it's the word for God, but he said it's really more about reality. Reality with a big R. The only one sort of big reality. And so when we're combining Alaha with one of the elements, we're becoming more aware and more connected with that wholeness, that big reality through the use of intentional breath and inviting these elements into our being. I just think that this is so amazing and such an incredible way for us to reconnect to this divine energy that we truly are. And what does it take? It takes commitment, right? We need to be intentional about it. Because about 95% of the day, we're just kind of going with the flow based on what it is we did yesterday, the memories, the thoughts, the beliefs, everything that we're used to, everything that we're familiar with. It's only about 5% of the time that we are using our brains, our minds consciously, intentionally, with awareness. And if we include breathing in that intentionality, wow, we're opening ourselves up to that infinite potentiality that we truly are in ways that we haven't yet experienced, in ways that maybe we haven't even imagined. And so the other cool thing that happened today was that Neil Douglas-Klotz said that in Aramaic, there is no word for mind because they didn't think of the mind. They have a word for heart. And so that's where the quote came that I had at the beginning. In Aramaic, there is no mind, only heart. The surface of the heart is like water with thoughts rippling throughout. When we breathe through the heart, those waters become calm and still, allowing us to release the thoughts that no longer serve. I thought this was such a beautiful image when he talked about it, and it reminded me of David Hawkins, who talks about feelings being at the root of all things that are getting in the way of us experiencing that allness of being that we are at our core. And that when we let go of feelings that are the springboard for like thousands upon thousands of thoughts, then the thoughts associated with that feeling just disappear. And so if we can calm and still our heart simply by using our breath intentionally, by focusing on these elements and inviting them into our being, we are giving ourselves the opportunity, the gift, to let go of whatever it is that is getting in the way of us experiencing our wholeness. Now, I kind of jumbled up what I was going to talk about. That's just the way it came out. So my talk title today is Just Breathe. But here's the thing. When I was writing this down, I actually wrote just breath. Either one. You know, he's talking about the only thing that is going on is breath. Breath that is breathing us, breath that is living us. And so if we just breathe, we allow ourselves to connect to that breath, as that breath. When we breathe in those elements, we're doing it even more so intentionally and purposefully. So breath is a prayer. Breath is an affirmative prayer that we can use to transform our lives. But we have to do so intentionally. And in order to do that, we need to commit. So my question to you is, how will you commit to using your breath more intentionally to create a more purposeful life? To be more connected to the wholeness that you are at your core? Because as Neil Douglas-Klotz says, everything leads back to reality. Reality with a capital R. So every time we breathe in, it's an opportunity to come back to wholeness. Every time we breathe out, same thing. But unless we do so intentionally, we're just kind of going with the flow, right? So, call to action, invitation, it's up to you, whatever. But I invite you, right here, right now, just breathe. Thank you, and so it is. All right, so now we get to break out into little groups and have some conscious conversation. So I'm going to suggest that, there aren't that many of us here today, so this side of the room is one group, this side of the room is another. What I will invite people to do, though, is cross the aisle and hang out with some people that maybe you haven't hung out with before, so that you can have some new conversations. And then for people online, we'll be back in about 10 minutes, okay?
There's a question about pronunciation.
Pronunciation?
Alaha, Ruha.
What's the question?
How do you spell that? Alaha Ruha.
Okay, so we'll put this in the newsletter, and actually I'll put it in the description of the live stream when it's finished later. Alaha is A-L-A-H-A. Ar-ah is A-R-A-H. I'm talking to people online. And then Maya, M-A-Y-A. Nuhra, N-U-H-R-A. And Ruha, R-U-H-A.
That's his website.
Yeah. Abwoon.org.
Abwoon.org.
Abwoon.org is Neil Douglas-Klotz's website. All of that will be in the description. Thank you.
Yeah. I had a cold last week, but I went to my dentist today. She said, don't worry about it. Everyone's got it. Probably not going to spread. There's no question. I'm okay. I just had a little angry cough. So I just went to bed. I'm not sick. I didn't have COVID. There are things that we just is that what you mean? Is that what you were having to talk about?
Yeah, I'm curious now to think something that I might not want to do.
Well, there are things that come up where I think, oh, I can do that, and then something happens. And then I have to break that. And I've done that. This feeling when I'm off. Yes.
Cluster of people who grew up in it, it's like something intentionally learned to language.
That's a good question. I think that there still are people who that is their
The phrase that popped up was healthy boundaries. Having healthy boundaries. That's a good like reframing tool. Like when you feel like if you feel uncomfortable about where you're standing in something, as long as you feel like, well, it feels right on some level that I can say what I'm doing is right, and if you totally disagree with me, and everyone else in the room disagrees with me, I can still say, well, that's my boundary. Like I still believe what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to be black sheep, and it's like not comfortable. It's like, it's gonna happen.
Well, we're all individuals, right? Yeah.
It's I mean, the classic stereotype around that is like people getting gym memberships. I'm going first.
Yeah.
It's like, are you going to set my leg? But yeah, it's an interesting word. Anything with the word meant at the end, like mental, mind, there's a lot of government. Yeah. What's your mind dialed into?
I was just thinking in terms of spiritual practice.
She's like, I don't know.
Practice.
She was so lighthearted.
Good times
She was
and
so.
then fall through when you're caught in a storm of some sort, or set in there when you're moving more balance, or practice that sort of allows you to fall through. So you're just sort of doing what feels right now, and you might fail, or you might flash out the neck, or resistance to it. If you've had a time committed to say, if and that forgiveness, that in that moment, just accept the commitment and be able to hopefully manage it.
And I felt like so bad. Well, the only thing that came up to me.
I'm just getting started, just listening to people who teach it, sort of lecture, and my mom was just listening.
Connected to
So,
the heart. Because that's the only
is
thing
it
I
on?
can have right now. I was going to use words and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
The next day she
It
was
focuses on
awake and
relationships,
happy and laughing
forgiveness,
and
and
she was always like that.
sort of the
She
difference
lost
of
her
yourself and
husband
mine,
to
and that if you can
comfort.
do those exercises,
And she was still in
your perception is clear,
I mean, I
and
think she
you'll
was
be able to see things through the lens of
through
love
life.
and less
The
through
only lesson
love.
that I think she could teach me was just to,
I'm not an expert in
yeah,
any
just
of
be
it,
like,
but
so
Mariana
laughing and
Williams, I read it,
just
and she just like describes things that you think are sort of personal weaknesses or shortcomings of yourself, and she just you're described like that, and it's it. You should understand that it's like a human problem, a universal problem, that these are like I don't know, anything that you relate to a problem as being shared with many people, it sort of takes away the pain, the individuality of
The
them.
individuality when you feel it's just yourself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That's really good.
So,
That's really good.
yeah, my whole family's doing it right now, which is great because, yeah, I feel like pretty safe going home because I know it's just like forgetting everything. There's just like no sense of like combination or anything, and like the ethos of it now.
brought on by the book.
Yeah.
So are you admitting more things?
I guess, I don't know. It's more just like, sort of like, things that we want, it's like, we try to let go of the grievance as much as possible, and there's specific ways of doing it, and, it's in like Christian terminology, but if you have like the conceptualize it, however you understand it, it seems very useful.
I like what you were saying about that commitment it's all well and good to have that commitment when you're feeling good about it, to doing it when you're tested, when times get a little tough, when your commitment is tested, and you keep the commitment going. That's interesting.
Express how it's seen or described in our language, and that's not just mean like the action of
Pound road is
it
the
was a more
person who
fully
teaches
encompassing.
Online, or?
It felt like how you're
Well,
describing it.
she has a
Describing it there was like an imagery of like
YouTube.
all the
So
fashion,
the books like
body,
E
all
squared,
the
cube.
interconnectedness of all the root systems.
Where it's like a course, it's like every day she had a quote
That
and
was so beautiful.
from the book.
And now it's just like I'm down. That's a mistake.
For a nap, I was looking at everyone yawning. About when they were doing the breath thing. What is triggering this in a lot of people?
Yeah.
Just letting it go in nervous system regulation.
Okay.
So breath work is regulating nervous system and yawning when you natural attention.
Right.
Well, those words do have a lot of.
I'm thinking, like, I was thinking interchanging the words commitment and intention, not like it was the same, so that was just like, that's what's coming up from you.
What was the other word?
Intention.
Intention.
And commitment, and so it's like, in some of those studies I have, we can have an intention, and when you get your commitment behind an intention, like, stick to that, that's kind of what you're pointing to. Then it creates this clear phase, like, so when you take a veer from whatever you said you're gonna do, and your intention is to kind of go back to your commitment. I'm thinking about like things like parenting or things like reading a book, like finishing a piece of something, right? And what it brings.
Get recommended.
Yeah, right? Like, and they connected to that, and, yeah, because I've been doing, like, I've been meditating with breath and burn, and I have this morning, so I'm looking at, okay, so what happens? Because my commitment is to have my nervous system form settled in
fantastic one on this side of the room. Commitment, not competition. All right, so who here has something to do with today happening? Please stand up. Volunteers, musicians. All right, and everybody else, let's show them our love and appreciation. Here are 3. You can do that. But our 3 statements for tonight. We appreciate you. We love you. We support you as you breathe. All right. Now, who's new here today? Please stand up. All right, let's show this gal, Megan, some love and appreciation. We appreciate you, we love you, we support you as you breathe. And now everybody else, does everybody made a commitment to show up today? All right, everybody, we appreciate you, we love you, we support you as you breathe. And now pick one person, and we're going to turn those V's into I's. So pick one person that you're going to tell how much you love them, and then turn those V's into I's. I appreciate you. I love you. I support you as you breathe. All right, beautiful. Get out if you want to, then come back to your seat. So now is the time, in our time together, where I get to say that VTC is not just a spiritual community, you guys can sit down, but it's also a charitable organization. And so I'm not going to ask for your money, I'm just going to thank you for your investment. Because your investment in your spiritual center, whether it was the building and the programming that we're offering, and the spiritual center that is right here in each and every one of us, helps us to grow, helps us to offer stuff like Elevate every single week. And then there's Celebrate Sunday and Radiate on 4th Fridays, Music and Mantras on the 4th Mondays. There's more stuff coming up that will be announced in just a moment. So if you would like to invest in some way, if you would like to give a love offering, you can do so via e-transfer, info@victoriatruthcenter.org. If you can please write your name in the little line that's in there, like what's this for, that's super helpful for our treasurer. Otherwise, there are envelopes on the silver bowl on the back table there. You can just put your name and number, your name and information on there, whatever it is that you want to offer, and just put it into the silver bowl. However you are offering of yourself, I invite you to place your hand on your heart as we declare this abundance affirmation together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By joyously contributing to my spiritual center, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, maybe place your hands on your heart still, remain steeped in gratitude and appreciation. And breathing together as one community, one love, one life. Knowing that as we breathe together, as we build together, as we open up to the infinite possibilities of who we can become together, we do open up to those infinite possibilities, and we become more of that wholeness, that creativity, that resilience, that love, that allness of being that each and every one of us is at our core. So grateful for VTC, so grateful for each and every person that is part of this community and everyone on their way. Thankful for the board, for my co-lead Sherry, and for everything that is yet to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. So it is. All right, some announcements. Ta-da! We are now on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. If you want to pull out your cameras, your phones, and take pictures of those QR codes, I will show the slide again at the end. But please follow us, please subscribe, please engage with us online. This is one of the ways that we can build community together, okay? So 3 new platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Everyone online, same goes for you. We so appreciate your engagement, and we are all building community together. Celebrate Sundays, 10:30 to 12 p.m. right here every single Sunday. Similar to this format, but a Sunday morning kind of vibe. Okay, super excited about this. On the heels of today's breath extravaganza in our talk and in meditation, 9D breathwork is coming to BTC. And I am a certified 9D breathwork facilitator, and we are having our first journey happening on Saturday, June 15th, right here from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And this is an opportunity to really, really use breath intentionally, to let go, to release of a whole bunch of stuff, and to even potentially enter altered states of consciousness. Some of the experiences that people have had on the journeys that I have facilitated are one person who is an asthmatic who asked, should I use my inhaler at the beginning? Said that at the end of an hour, she felt like her lung capacity had increased by 20%. We have people who have gone back 7 generations to heal generational trauma. We have people who have experienced a whole bunch of releasing of trapped emotions that they haven't been able to release through other modalities. And we have someone in the audience here who recently experienced something pretty transformational. Do you want to just briefly share what you experienced, Stephanie?
Sure.
Okay.
So the session that I did with Lesia, and there was like 6 or 7 of us. I had the experience of actually dropping into utero, into my mother's womb. It was quite profound. That might sound kind of wild, and I recently just connected with my birth mother in real life. I had only just met her, it was in November. No, yeah. Just found her. And so my experience doing this breath work, because I had done previous transformational breath work in the past, sort of, this was so freeing and so powerful. And I got to share the experience with my birth mother because there was some connection to hearing her voice, and I actually I declared that all of the healing that had not happened for her and for her ancestors and for future, I have 3 children. I declared that trauma was complete. It was so profound. And that was 2 hours of work. So intention, and actually going with a commitment that there's healing for everyone, that we all get to experience. Even when it's not our own, like we don't think it's our own stuff, and it actually allows that to be cleared. Yeah. So, pretty powerful.
Amazing, thank you. So there's room for 10 people, because I only have enough headsets for 10 people. So 10 people, we will gather here, and there will be about an hour to an hour 15 minutes of actual active breathing that is combined with binaural beats, solfeggio tones, isochronic tones, neuro-linguistic programming, somatic breath work. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, 9D, there's 9 layers of what is happening. And even if you did just the intentional breath work, then you would have an experience of some kind of release. But with all of these 8 other elements that are involved, it is really, really a transformational experience, especially if you come into the experience with some kind of intention. If you're closed off and you think it's not going to work, well, we know through new thought and the way that the law works that guess what? It's probably going to work exactly the way you think it's not going to work. So Saturday, June 15th, 9 to 11 a.m. You do need to pre-register for this because there are only 10 spots, so let me know if you're interested. Really excited to bring 9D to BTC. Okay, Healing Circle, our first one was amazing and very powerful. Our second one is happening on Sunday, June 16th, 12:15 to 1 p.m. right here. If you would like to become more active in our community, there are a whole bunch of different ways that you can be of service. These are just some of them: tech support, setup and cleanup, online social media engagement. There are other ways to be of service as well. So just let me know, let one of our board members know, so that we can open up the space to allow you to shine in the way that you would like to in our community. if you or someone you know is in need of prayer, at any time you can fill out one of those little cards, and there's a prayer box on the circle, on the table over there. Or you can write prayer@victoriatruthcenter.org. I'm the one who sees those, nobody else. But then I do pass them along to the VTC prayer team. And every day we pray for you and or yours affirmatively, knowing that whatever it is that requires healing is already done. If you're not already on the newsletter, then we invite you to sign up. The sign up list is on the back there. And is there anything that anyone in the community has to announce to share with the community? Bernice?
We would love to see you at Authentic Relating, which is in this space on the, well, it has been the first and the third Sundays, and in the summer it's going to be in the third Sundays.
Yeah, and I think Robbie posted his
Robbie is facilitating on the 16th. He's next up. I'm next up in July.
Okay, all right. So I will have an announcement on Sunday, and then on the next Wednesday, and yeah, Authentic Relating. I look forward to coming one day, and I'm like totally like at the end of the Sunday.
Could you just give us a quick synopsis of what that
What
is?
Authentic Relating is? It's a way to be more seen as yourself and received as yourself in connection with others, and it's presented in a game environment so that it's easier to do. It's like less risk and less vulnerable, but it is like a little stretch of yourself, like a safe stretch of yourself, so that you can feel what it's like to be more you in connection.
That's great.
Yeah.
Having done a weekend-long intensive of level 1,
Big
which
stretch.
was big stretch again and again and again. Kind of, on some level thinking, wow, it maybe would have been good to do, like a games night one time, but everything that I learned and experienced in that intensive weekend, I am using in the way that I communicate and relate with other people, whether it's individuals, family, the board, our community, whatever. It's really, really amazing. Some of it is super simple and sort of feels obvious, but to commit to practicing authentic relating, you really get to experience sort of, who the other person is, like in their realness, you in your realness, and what's happening in the moment, and honoring it all.
It's all about that commitment.
Yeah. So definitely authentic relating is coming up. All right, I'm going to invite everybody to stand as we sing our closing song, "Lean on Me" by Bill Withers.
Hugs, Maggie.
Is Maggie watching?
More than a hug. Pass on the hug.
That's great.
That's authentic relating.
We got ourselves worked up here. Everybody got their rooms on? Here we go. 1, 2. We
The DTC community